in 100% of the matches that I was going to commentate. Can't really say I have a lot of experience with this matchup specifically, but one thing that Frankenkopf could be doing and Human Typhoon could have been doing in his match is, again, I feel like Haomaru's major strength is being able to back up and use their movement, but it seems like, for the most part, we've seen them going up, like, into people's faces. Oh, that wasn't necessarily the best punish in the world.
Yeah, we saw Frankenkopf using the movement to create a whiff from Feremuntrus, but didn't get the whiff punish, actually. But there we go with the 6B in Warrior's Focus. Not getting anything out of it. The throw from Feremuntrus, repositioning. Great GI, though, from Frankenkopf.
See, this is something that Feremuntrus sometimes has a tough time with, is that it's very similar to how Amy plays, where there's so much jank and junk that Zos can pull out, and it's important to gauge how much knowledge your opponent has, but as you're trying to figure that out, you end up losing rounds.
Yeah, and be something that should be working on just a little bit, but got that curse online, so here we go. This be a big damage potential. Doesn't pop the curse off the 1B. We're gonna go use it instead, maybe later on in this round.
I think what he's trying to do is just use significantly more just like small pokes and force the Haomaru player to kind of just play a little bit more solidly rather than trying to set up for stuff that's a little bit slower.
Yeah, kind of just like close out that round with some pretty basic pokes. I ended it with an AAA string. And sometimes that's the only mix-up you need, is just finishing the last hit of your basic bread and butter string.
Yeah, timing kind of thing. Now that's very important, is that the Haomaru player did not punish Zos 2-2B on block. So very important to know what things your opponent is not punishing. Yeah, I feel like the Haomaru player, if he wants to continue this, I don't really think that this is the best way to go about this matchup if I had to guess. But he's got Soul Charge now. We'll see if he's able to pull anything out of this. You really don't have to go in this hard.
No, but maybe he'll be able to turn it around, but not quite. It looks like the heavy slash getting interrupted by the string there from Feremuntrus. He's able to take it up 2 rounds to 1. Could be a very big turning point in this set.
Yeah, I feel like at this point the Haomaru player has to come up with a different idea as to what he wants to do. He ends up getting that RI. It's not the craziest amount of damage, but it is the coolest. We'll see if he's able to keep away from some of these small pokes. It doesn't really seem like has this ability, so I think Feremuntrus is just going to continue doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I think so as well. And backing up both players. Okay, this string coming through for Frankenkopf to hit him. Has the likely, but his guard is flashing red. This could be a very big factor if he is continue on in this game.
It's going to be pretty tough because he's got the Zos has bars as well. He's totally fine getting rid of. Oh, that was a critical edge. Never mind. So he ends up taking it with the rest of the Soul Charge. So one thing we haven't seen at all yet from either Haomaru player. You know, I hate to harp too heavily on this, but it is important to note that the fireball that Haomaru has in Soul Charge does a gigantic amount of chip damage, and you can't stop it.
No, the only thing you can do is be far enough away and have it kind of just like they move apart.
Right? You can GI it.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things that you want to like make sure that your opponent knows what to do. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that there was that one time where the Haomaru player had the ability to, like, he had the Soul Charge and he was a little bit behind. If I'm in that position, I'm literally chucking fireballs, and if my opponent doesn't know how to deal with this, I literally catch up just from him blocking fireballs. Yeah. And what's wrong with that?
No, it's a very safe way to even up the life lead, and you can even go for the fireball fakes as well. So if your opponent does try and go for like a preemptive GI or something, you can actually whiff punish that, which is something that we haven't seen at all actually.
Yeah, not so much this year.
Feremuntrus has that early curse, which is a very important thing and very important resource for Zas to have. He can make certain moves like his 4-6B safe and combo extensions, and here it is, that combo extension we're talking about.
Yeah, pretty tough to be doing some of the strings that are as Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah. Is this just me, or is this usually
happening?
No. It's
happening just straight up, okay.
Not sure if that's just a Discord thing or is it happening in game. Oh, tries to go for the slide kick.
Oh, guys, it's happening in game, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he ends up getting the lethal hit off of that, and he ends up getting the full damage. It is important to note that post GI, that B+K is going to be plus 12 on hit. Technically, you can get a guaranteed combo, but for the most part, it seems like all Haomaru players agree it's best just to go for the guaranteed grab setup.
Yeah. the ice ball is fantastic there.
It's like Half-Life. Jesus Christ.
Pretty good. Pretty good character.
Off of basically a safe move.
It'd be nice
Ooh, nice
to
challenge.
challenge though. Yeah, that was really great.
Kind of wish they had gone for. Oh, this could be a huge amount of damage. Very satisfying hit there.
Yeah, I think one heavy slash away from the lethal hit. Run up, nice patience. It's gonna be plus frames and getting curse as well. So there's that resource from Zas. Ooh, pops it, makes it safe.
He's already got that red Garge, so can he do a lot with this? He did just get his. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was quite a bit.
That's so unfair. And he took a CE. You really shouldn't be using the CE. Well, I mean, now that he's... Okay, so yeah, the RI isn't necessarily going to work on everything. If it has the same weakness as some of his other stuff, like his other parries, it's not going to be all that great against kids.
He does not. I think Feremuntrus. Oh, great sidestep into the whiff punish.
And if you think about it, he did 2-2B, right? And the only other time that a 2-2B happened, the Haomaru player did not punish. So you got to think to yourself, like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Even if he blocks this, I'm fine.
But Frankencom looking very, very clean in this round. One poke away. Oh, dude, not quite a ring out. Not quite in range.
Oh, he's still there. There it is.
Happened. In a
Fifth
situation like that,
ring out times the charm.
the situation like that, when you have a life lead against Zas with Harumaru's amazing backdash, he should have backed away and been like, I'm not going to even play your game.
In his defense, he did try, and then Zaz pulled him back in. And the Haomaru player was like, well, guess I die.
Nice, this is pops the curse.
Alright, we're probably going to see Rage Explosion pretty soon, but he did it without getting the burst. And so he immediately goes for the plus frames. I like that. Unbreakable grab. That is a Rage Explosion exclusive. Immediately goes for another run-up grab. He still has the E-Send, which he can use now. It's not going to kill because the amount of time, but he still has Soul Charge. I heard a 4-4K.
Yeah, Feremuntrus just popping Soul Charge of his own, throws the Hadouken at him.
Yeah.
Gonna pop the reversal edge. Cancel with the curse.
That's what he wanted to do in the first game, and he ended up losing the round for it. But he doesn't lose the round this time.
And great stuff to Feremuntrus is going to be moving on into the winner's bracket.